Welcome back to Real Talk. It's been
It's been
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
no, no,
ahead.
you go, I think.
Life has been 2024, as we
Happening.
talked
Yeah.
about, has been happening, and
Yeah.
due to family reasons,
Yeah.
we've been on hiatus. Not that anyone
Mm.
cared. So let's
Yeah.
right? Not that everyone, if anyone cared, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you
But
for caring.
thank you for caring. But what are we going to talk about today?
So we are gonna talk about the movie Uglies.
You get the surgery, they tell you what to do, and that's it. Paris?
What are you doing here?
I was worried.
Things are just different here. You'll get it. You're pretty.
There's something about this place. It's not what it seems. What if I told you that there's an alternative? I know this place.
Welcome to the smoke.
They have a different way of doing things.
And we will do whatever it takes to protect that.
If you want to learn how to fly, you gotta learn how to fall.
These people want to end us.
The smoke has decided their way of living is more worthy than ours.
I was told these lies my whole life. It's time for you to make a choice.
All my life, I wanted to be pretty. I thought it would change everything.
Which is a Netflix movie, right?
It sounds like a Netflix movie
Yeah,
just from the title.
yeah, exactly.
You
Just from
cannot
that.
imagine any other studios making this movie.
Yeah. So let's go with what the movie is about.
So basically, it's a world where everyone has to look yassified with a TikTok filter.
Like you're playing dressed to impress, but
Yes, exactly what it is. You're playing dress to impress, and you're trying to fit the theme.
yeah.
That's basically what it is. And this movie is actually written by three people. So
Okay.
Jacob Foreman, Vanessa Taylor, Whit Anderson, they're just getting paid, right? So let's not blame them.
Of course, yeah.
However, it's based on the novel by Scott Westerfield.
Yes.
And so I don't know whether to blame the three writers or Scott, but we are here in this mess gathered by the director McGee, actually, who has directed a lot of Netflix movies, actually,
Really?
including
Huh.
including a babysitter killer, I think, or the babysitter.
Babysitter? Okay, I
Actually,
haven't
it's not a
seen
bad
that
movie.
one.
It's not a bad movie. That's
Okay.
actually a fun
That's just a
movie.
misleading title.
It's called The Babysitter, I think, and then there's the
Hmm.
second one, Babysitter something. Great,
Okay.
actually. So let's not blame Mr. Director. And who are we
McGee.
joined with the cast, Fabiana?
So we have the our kissing booth fan favorite, I don't know.
That's true.
Joey King. I hope I'm
Joey King.
pronouncing. Yeah, Joey King.
Yeah.
And also other characters, other actors and actresses that I haven't really seen except for the character that plays the enemy of this
Principal.
story. Yeah, which is Laverne Cox. I
Yeah.
know about them, but I don't really know about the others. So we have I don't know how to pronounce the name.
I think
Brian?
Brienne. I
Brienne,
think it's
yes.
Brienne Jew.
Brienne
Yeah, I
Jew,
think so.
yeah. Keith Powers. Brienne Jew plays the role of Shay. Keith Powers plays, who was it?
Mouse. Is it Mouse?
Yes, no, Nose.
Oh no, the other guy. Wait, did I say mouse? I mean nose. Oh my God. Okay,
It's
sorry.
okay. No, it's okay. I was just gonna look into that because I actually forgot if. Okay, so Keith Powers plays the David character,
Oh, okay,
the leader
the
of
David character.
the smoke and stuff.
The smoke. Yes.
And then we have Chase
Um,
Strokes, which I believe he plays Nose,
is
like you were saying. Yeah.
nose.
hmm
Right.
Exactly.
Great. Off to a great start. We are totally back. We are so back. We never left.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So
Yes,
let's
yeah,
go
let's talk
into
about,
what we
yeah,
Mhm.
what we don't like about this film and then what we actually like, if there was anything to like. Some people might be wondering why we're calling some characters, like especially one, Nose, which is something I think we'll talk about a little bit. I think
Mhm.
once you start with the points that you have, but I just thought
Uh-huh.
that was hilarious, the fact that some of them, we now know that they live in this society where basically when you turn 16, you are going to receive your surgery, which will lead you to live the perfect life with your perfect, I guess, body and appearance, right?
Mhm.
So meanwhile, you're waiting and you're ugly. You can be called by, I guess, one of or many of your imperfections, I guess. And one of those for this character, the one played by Chase Stokes, is nose because he has
He
supposedly
does
a
not
big
even have
nose.
that big of a nose.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I think this is also, I mean, I didn't write it in my dislike, but ultimately, I think for a movie that is called Uglies, and I feel like they're embracing that, you know,
The ugliness, yeah.
that the ugliness, right? Like, they're supposed to be ugly, but I feel like, I mean, okay, maybe they're not like conventionally attractive for most people. Like, for example, I
Yes.
cannot, it's probably difficult to find a person who will say that Margot Robbie is mid, even though that there's that Twitter guy. But like, I
Mhm.
think that's like a minority, right? Or I think that guy was an
Yeah.
incel. Like, I don't, maybe like, for example, someone like Joey King, you can say, oh, some people would call her ugly. But like, I think we need to, I don't know. For example, if in the uglies there's Big Ed and he's called Shorty or something, or No Neck Ed, you know, like
Like,
that would
yeah.
that would make sense. I feel like this is one of the things that is like, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
think
that
it is. Also because beauty is so subjective, right? But
objective. Exactly.
yeah, at the same time, I was also thinking that they're not very, I guess, quote unquote, ugly or not very
Mhm.
attractive. They're kind of like average looking, so they're not really
More
like,
better than average even,
yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah. So let's talk
Um,
about a little bit about what we didn't like besides the names, the ridiculous names. But
yes.
what do you think?
I think for me,
hmm
it it shows that, okay, first of all, I watched this when it came out because I was looking for something to watch while I was meal prepping.
Second
So
screening,
I did,
right?
yes. So I didn't necessarily waste my time. In fact,
hmm
I already finished meal prepping and then there was like the last, I don't know, like 30, 40 minutes of the movie. And I think that was
Yes.
when I was truly paying attention. And I'm like, what is this? So I was increasingly getting angry as, you know, towards the end. But regardless, I think it's one of those movies that like you can tell because apparently it has been in development hell for a long time,
Mhm.
since like the 2000s, and the novel is a product of its time. And I feel like it just doesn't, it's not saying
Yeah.
anything more that is original. I just think that the themes of the movie has been explored to death. In fact, this makes me want to connect to my other point, which we might later touch upon. But
Mhm.
there are better movies that are also talking about these themes. And so I don't understand the necessity of the
Yeah.
making of this movie. And other than this purpose, if you want to dive deep into the plot, I feel like there is nothing. We don't really know why. s- Like I, if you look at the perspective of the villain of the story, I do not understand why the villain necessarily wants people to not have their own sense of self
Mm-hmm.
or to basically be yassified and then to be mind controlled. I just don't understand how does that benefit the government? Isn't it expensive to do these procedures? Like how does the villain benefit from these
Mm-hmm.
things? In fact, I always want to call Laverne Cox the principal because she gives me principal vibes, not like, but I think she's supposed to be like the president. Like,
Yeah,
who
like
even is she? Like,
I
I,
don't remember, but she had a sort of like leading role at the board of doctors, surgeons of
right,
this
she's like, oh, right, she's supposed to
company.
be like a doctor, right? For me,
Yeah.
she gives me like principal vibes, and this gives like a school vibe. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the scope of the movie is supposed to be bigger than what it is. But for me, like, it feels very like, oh, it's just a school full of ugly people, and then she's the principal.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
makes
it
the
has a
movie's
vibe.
impact small. Yeah, that's the
Mm-hmm.
vibe. And what about you?
Well, I agree with what you said. I think it is interesting. I haven't, of course, I haven't really read the novels.
Yeah, me neither.
But I think I suppose they decided to adapt the novel, taking advantage of the trend of using filters nowadays, and
Mm-hmm.
also being part of social media, being very over the top with beauty. And so I
Mm-hmm.
kind of see how they maybe took advantage of this, and it sort of works in that
Mm-hmm.
sense because we are living with all of this very close to us. But I felt like the story wasn't new, of course, like you were saying, it is not really a new concept. I think it sort of continues to perpetuate
Mm-hmm.
the stereotypes of being pretty, and also being, if you're attractive or pretty, you are most likely, according to this sort of narrative, you're most likely to not be very smart or intelligent, or I
Yeah.
don't know. And then if you're ugly or not very attractive, you're usually more intelligent or more critical. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that is not really, I mean, I see the message, like the intention of the message, but I think the
Mm-hmm.
delivery wasn't great. So
Yeah.
whenever, yeah, because whenever, let's say that moment where Shay received her surgery against her will, I remember, right?
Right,
Um,
right.
I mean, every single pretty person in this film looks like a stereotype of what you would think a pretty person is, like a, and even the like the
Mm-hmm.
even going into like the pretty privilege and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it was very stereotypical. I don't think they handled that very well.
Um, Anything that you like though about the movie, if you have
Yeah,
any.
let's go into what we actually like, if there's anything. In my case, I would say the lore of the story was sort of kind of interesting, let's say,
Wow.
because the movie started quite like fast into action, I would say, like quickly into action in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a little bit more, I don't know, like I don't know, if the word would
Exciting,
be,
you know?
yeah, exciting or interesting in general. Like we didn't have
Mhm,
to wait a lot of like time to get into action. So that was, I guess I sort of appreciated, but also the lore
mhm,
was kind of interesting. Although I would say the names for many things like places and people are
mhm.
ridiculous and kind of absurd, a little on the nose. So
Yeah.
I thought that was funny, but yeah, it was kind of interesting to know how these people got to be where they are right now, like how this
Mhm,
universe or well, not universe, but the world that has been
mhm,
built around this got to this point. And I think that's interesting to say the least. And what else? The acting, which is not really related to the movie, but I thought it was uh, well performed, the role of Shay. I think she
mhm.
did a good job. I
I
mean,
think she was the best one. You're
right?
right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she did a good acting job. I would love to see her in other more serious and I guess
in better projects.
yeah, better projects for sure. And the last thing that I can think of would be the message. Like what I meant to say was that I could see the message of being more self-accepting and
Mhm,
self-loving, but I think the delivery of the story, at least in the adaptation, wasn't working. And so we couldn't really, I mean, they were saying it more than I think we could see it. But I guess I would have liked to see it in a different way, like portrayed through action. I don't know.
mhm. And to this note, something that I've
Mhm.
touched upon earlier as well, in the theme of like self-acceptance, self-love,
Mhm.
um, my husband and I, finally yesterday watched the movie called The Substance. I don't know if you've heard of
Oh, I
it.
have heard of it. I want to see it. I haven't.
It's yeah, like if you want to talk about the themes that is explored in this movie, Uglies, The Substance is also talking about that and more.
Mhm.
And obviously done better as a movie that won. I think it won the best screenplay in Cannes Film Festival.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, and I think we can have another discussion on that. But
Hmm.
for example, that is a better movie that handle similar themes in a better
Yes,
way. And
exactly.
to also piggyback off of what you were saying about like the ridiculous name of their groups, like the uglies, the
Yeah,
pretties,
the Rusty.
um, the rusties. Like to me, when I first saw the movie and found out that it was a novel, I thought it was like one of those fanfic or something. Like, oh,
Yes.
this must be based on like another Harry Styles fan fiction or something. I
Yeah.
literally thought that. It's like some 13-year-old wrote this thing and then it became a movie. But no, it was written by a grown-ass man. Like, sir, why did you I don't know. I feel like um how can a grown man write
Yeah,
about this?
yeah. I think
That's all.
that's something that you would expect from a ninth grader writing I don't know,
Yeah.
an essay on
Uh-huh.
dystopian worlds.
Exactly,
They were
exactly.
called the Rusties. I don't know.
Why are they even called the Rusties? I don't
I,
understand.
yeah, I haven't understand it either so far.
I think book people would know.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah, for sure. The ones that have read all the novels would know, but
yeah.
I agree with you, and actually, I think I suppose for younger readers, it would
Mm-hmm.
be more enjoyable, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because it is easier to remember. I can see younger viewers, let's say like 12 to, I don't really know, like 18 or maybe 17-year-olds going into the movie and then the next day starting using the terms between them, like between their classmates, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
uglies, the rusties. And
Oh
so
my
I
God.
can, but yeah, it is very annoying, but I can see it working. I guess,
Mm.
in favor
For
of the
that intent,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So, do we have anything else positive to mention about this film? Uh,
I guess for me, the only nice thing that I can say is that if someone else is looking to watch something so that they don't have
mm-hmm,
to listen to music or whatever, they
mm-hmm.
can watch this instead, I guess. Because there is like a point to, you know, watching a movie that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't require much attention, or like at least it's like a nice background ridiculous noise that is somewhat
Yes,
funny
an
in the
alternative
background while doing stuff.
to Subway Surfers. For the people that,
Yeah, because like Subway servers, you can't really listen to it, right? So,
exactly.
yep,
Yeah. I
yep,
I don't actually have anything else to say positive. I think I can only like laugh because I think
yeah.
there are some very funny parts, and we were actually talking before recording about what would
Hmm.
be our names while we wait for our surgery.
Hmm.
So what would be your name? What do you think it would be your name?
Oof. Okay, I will just say the name that people used to call me when I was bullied and they made fun of
Oh,
me. They called me Scuba because my eyesight was really bad and I had really thick glasses. So
mm.
they're saying like my glasses were so thick as if like I was
Oh
wearing the
no.
scuba goggles.
Hmm.
So that's what I think. I don't know. From my
Yeah.
old days. What about you?
I think I would go with eye bags. I think someone in middle school
I
would.
remember the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What story?
about the story of the IBAC story that you told me.
Yeah. I
Someone
mean,
called you. Yeah.
yes, yes. I remember in middle school there was someone or some moment where someone called me something related to my eye bags. I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember what was it. But I have been told like different things about it. Like, or also there's the option of being called something like ghost or because I remember
Oh.
in middle school there
Mm-hmm.
were some classmates that would say that I was very pale looking, white
Oh, that's
looking.
sad.
I suppose it wasn't as bad as it was for other kids. So I had a
Mm-hmm.
friend actually. I was okay. I mean, we were friends, so he called me like something like ghost. And
Oh,
also there's this other thing like, have you heard of the pan de queso, which is something that
no.
is eaten in Brazil? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
pronouncing it very well, but there is something very similar in other countries, Latin American countries, which is the pan de yuca. And the yuca, which I forgot the name in English, actually, the
I
cassava,
think it's
I
like,
suppose.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
exactly.
I
It's
love cassava
kind
so
of
much.
very, very white, so they would call me like pan de yuca.
That's
Only a
that's
couple of
rude.
people. Yeah, it was. Then again, I don't think it was as bad as it was for other kids, but I suppose I
Mm-hmm.
would go for either like, yeah, like something related to my skin or maybe my eye bags.
Okay.
Yes,
Now, I
so
think to finish our
mhm.
discussion, what do you think? How would you rate this?
Mm, that's a good question.
I
Uh,
actually haven't thought about this. As I asked you, I started thinking about it.
no, but I mean, that's what we do
That's what
towards
we
the
do. We do
end,
it on the
right?
spot. Mm-hmm.
So let me see what the people at Rotten Tomatoes were saying like
Oh.
about this film, just to see.
Mm-hmm.
Uglies. Also, I have to say the name, like the translation Uglies to Spanish,
What is it called in
I don't
Spanish?
know why, for some reason, it just sounds even funnier.
Or
Like it is Los Feos. It just
what does
sounds
that?
bad. It's exactly
It
what
means
it
it
means, like
means the same.
uglies. Yeah. But I think in Spanish it has some sort of like extra weight of, I don't know, negativity or something.
Probably because of the particle, it sounds even worse. Because
Maybe.
I think just like in Italian and Spanish, you have to have a particle in front of a
Yes.
word, right?
Uh-huh.
So it sounds more like los pollos kind of thing.
Yes.
Because that's the I don't know why I said
Okay.
los pollos.
Los
It makes me
pollos
think of
hermanos.
los pollos hermanos.
Yes.
That's why.
But yeah, Los Feos. Anyways, it was given a 15%, and by
I
the viewers, it was given a 43%. Ooh, I was actually
mm,
thinking something like that. I think I was going with a like 30% or 40. What about you?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think because four is a bad number in Asia,
Mhm.
I'll give it 44%.
Okay.
Because I think it has, like, even though I said I didn't like it, and I really didn't, but I think it offers some value again. Like, if someone is either looking for a hate watch
Yeah.
or I don't know,
Or
or like, again, some like active noise in the background while they're doing boring adult things.
yeah.
So,
Or a
yeah,
movie for a teenager, even. I think if
yeah,
you
exactly.
wanna teach them something
Mm-hmm.
related to, I guess like beauty standards or
Uh-huh.
like social
Oh,
issues around
yeah.
that, it could be
Yeah.
useful.
I can see, I don't know why, unironically, I can see this if I was still in middle school for the teacher to show this on like
Yeah.
what, right? And
Yes,
ironically,
yes,
you are
yes.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Sorry.
there you have it. We
There you have it.
those
Let's talk
are
about something that is of better quality next time.
yes, we can
Maybe
do
we'll talk about
maybe
the
the
substance.
substance. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
That's a good
exactly.
idea.
That's gonna piggyback off of a lot of what we're
Hmm.
saying, and can't wait to see what you think.
Yes. And also, um, for the people listening, thank you.
Hmm.
And we hope that you can listen to our next episode. And
Yes.
also, you can
Feel free
comment.
to leave your
Yeah,
thoughts. Leave your
exactly.
thoughts below if you think I should have given a lower score, or I don't know, just
Also,
keep
if
the engagements up.
yeah, or if I don't if this is not offensive to you, you can let us know what your name would be in this Uglies universe.
Oh my God.
Only if
Hmm.
you're okay with it.
Hmm. Leave
So,
us your names below, and we'll see you in the
yeah,
next episode.
thank
Maybe.
you.
Bye.
Bye.